What's going on, guys? Pegasus from The Wise Guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got Metalfoes support, folks. We got to talk about it, so let's jump into it. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. Let's jump straight into it. First up, we got to talk about Heavy Metalfoes Amalgam, a fire psychic Link 2 2000 attack monster that points left and right. Kind of strange, but we'll get into that after a while. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by card effect, you can activate one of the following effects. Target one Metalfoes monster you control. Equip this card to that target as an equip spell that gives it 1000 attack. Target one Metalfoes card you control. Destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. Very, very interesting. We'll have to talk about that one in a second. We're going to come back to it. Next up, we got to talk about Para Metalfoes Melcaster. So para is the new play on words for the new stuff. I guess that's just what we're going to have to roll with, and what the names are going to have to roll with. I guess those are going to be the English translations as well. But it's a level 7, 2000 attack, 2500 defense, 1 scale. With the pendulum effect once per turn, as always, you pop stuff and then you get Metalfoes Profits in your back row. The second effect is a little bit more interesting because if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one face-up Metalfoes Pendulum Monster from your extra deck to your hand, except Parametalfoes Melcaster, except itself. But you cannot activate a card with that name in your Pendulum Zone for the rest of the turn. So that's a very fair trade-off. Next up, we got to talk about the one that I actually think is extraordinarily interesting, and it also is kind of a strange fit, but it's going to fit very, very nicely. I think it's really the coolest one that they made. This one is Metalfoes Vanisher, Fire, Psychic, Pendulum Effect Monster, as all of them always are, but this one is a level 9 and a Pendulum scale of 1 with 2900 attack and 1900 defense. Obviously, the first effect is the same as always, but then we got some very, very interesting effects on the monster effects. And that being, you can either target 2 face-up cards you control, including a Metalfoes card, destroy them, and if you do, special summon that card from your hand, Astrographish. Or, if this card is special summoned by a Metalfoes card effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. I really like that effect. I really like the artwork. I really like the attack points. I really like everything about the card. And now you can basically have VFD within the deck in some way, shape, or form. Let's jump into the next card, shall we? I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but Parametalfoes Azalthos or Azalthes or whatever in the world. It's a level 7, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, 8 scale, but this one is also a fusion monster. So we got a new fusion monster. Let's jump into the effect. Obviously, if a face-up Metalfoes card you control is destroyed by card effect, you can target one face-up on the field, face-up card on the field, excuse me, and destroy it. The monster effects, obviously, it's going to take one Metalfoes monster and one fusion monster, but you can only use this card's name and effect once per turn. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target one card your opponent controls, shuffle 2 face-up Pendulum monsters from your extra deck into the main deck, and if you do, destroy that target. So Mithrilium on crack, basically. And if this card is in the monster zone and it's destroyed, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone. So it's going to recur itself back into being a Pendulum scale, as you can obviously tell from the artwork. Let's jump into this very next card and it's the last one. I really think this card is going to get like absolutely like blasted and banned at some point. If somebody can come up with something that's going to be broken, and you know, we if you give Yu-Gi-Oh players enough time, you're always going to have something broken come out. And I think this is going to be the card that's probably going to give a lot of people headaches. Let's just say that. That card is Parametalfoes Fusion, which, much like Metalfoes Fusion, but Parametalfoes Fusion, get what I mean. But fusion summon one Metalfoes Fusion monster from your extra deck using up to one monster each from your hand, field, and or among face-up Pendulum monsters in your extra deck as fusion material, which is absolutely insane in my opinion. So in going back over the cards, I really do think Amalgam is going to be really interesting. However, the arrows are just so strange that it really, I feel like it's either hinting that Electromite is going to come back, or this is just locking the deck into being a rogue deck, because these arrows are awful. They really are awful. Like as bad as the Construct Link awful. Melcaster is, I think, maybe a 1 of, maybe a 2 of. I'd probably say the 2 just because you can have some level 7 plays going on with the absolute stuff, which I'll show you deck list in a moment. I think I think Vanisher is by far the best card that was made here. That and the Fusion Spell, the new Fusion Spell. This card is really, really cool, and I really think there's some stuff you can do with Cosmo. Shout out to Dan and the Wise Guys. He really hit the nail on the head that, hey, this card is absolutely stupid, and it has a lot of utility that it's going to take some time to really delve into. If you're a Metalfoes player, you're going to be playtesting it, so I don't even really need to tell you that. I really like the fusion monster, Azothes, I guess is the name, or Azathos, whatever you want to call him. He's really, really cool. Really, really like his effect, and he's a little bit of a copy off of Mythrilium, just with a scale effect. So I guess that's what they wanted to do, is give you another scale that you could go into instead of going into Mythrilium and not really having anything unless you want to launch stuff back to your hand. You know, I mean, Mythrilium is Mythrilium. I don't need to explain that card. The fusion spell, again, like I said, is absolutely stupid. Guys, this is the deck list. This is just me messing around with stuff. I do think Magician Souls goes in this deck very easily. I think Super Poly goes in this deck very easily. But outside of that, it's going to take a hell of a lot of testing, and I'm about to get into the lab and test this myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Metalfoes. I remember the deck, even though I didn't play it that much back in the day, but it was a really fun deck to play against. I'm out, guys. Look forward to all kind of content coming this week, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. YG baby.